Hey guys, what's up? It's Kahoob here. So in today's video, I'm going to be explaining why we should try and decentralize the crypto.org chain as much as possible and how to do it as well and just why it's important and everything. So first off, to decentralize the crypto.org chain, the first thing we have to do is unstake our CRO that's delegated to crypto.com staff nodes. The crypto.com staff nodes would be pretty simple to know which ones they are. For example, their names are like Falcon Heavy, Starship, New Shepard, Apollo, Delta. Usually in the top 10 so far they have been in, and they're, all these other ones that are farther than the top 10 are just community nodes, which we should be staking with instead. We can also just click on Falcon Heavy. We can see, for example, their join height. If it says Genesis block or like a very low number, it's most likely a CDC staff. But the validator name is pretty easy to understand of when it's CDC validator. And the details, they're in their website, right? Their website is crypto.org, driving mass adoption of blockchain technology. So just seeing the website and details, and when you go to Starship, you're going to see the same thing, crypto.org, driving mass adoption of blockchain technology. And they just keep very professional, simple bot names, like it's a bot basically. When you see things with emojis and random smart stake CC, and all this stuff, making cash and things like that, it's usually not going to be a CDC staff node. And so that's how you can determine which ones are CDC staff and which ones aren't. So when you stake on chain, when you search a validator, as they now have a search bar, which is really cool, and you can scroll through a lot of them. You don't want to choose Falcon 9, Pegasus, Atlas, Athena, or Delta, or Apollo, or New Shepard. All nodes is one that is actually not owned by crypto.com. So if we go into number 3 of improve block times, it's literally to improve the block times, and it was rejected, which is really weird because you want fast block times to keep the CRO chain going really fast, like fast transactions and all. We can click on it and see all the details related to it, right? It goes into the full description. It's got a good detailed, easy to understand if you're someone who's going to be voting on these proposals and stuff. It mentions that, this proposal fixes a bug that results in validators unnecessarily waiting idle for 5 seconds in between blocks due to timeout commit being defaulted to 5 seconds. And so basically, if they're able to change this to be lowered from 5 seconds, then we can be able to get more blocks per year. And more blocks per year means higher APY on stake rewards, because the more blocks that are mined, obviously the more percentage in APY you can get. So, as it says right here, this proposal would, as a side effect, result in increased stake rewards APY. This is because the block time would be lowered by 3 seconds flat, and as such there would be more blocks per year. And also it says up here that, no, it just says we'll get faster block times if this proposal goes through. So a yes vote means that you're voting to decrease block time by 3 seconds per block. And then a no just means you're keeping it in the current state, right? And it was rejected, which is really weird, because why would this proposal be rejected when it's to get faster block times and higher APY? Well, the reasoning is, and look at this, 37.21% said yes. So that's a kind of high amount, right? But 57.55 said no. That's also quite a high amount, right? So there was a decent amount of people who said yes, but the reason no was so high in percentage is because of the CDC staff nodes. A lot of people are staking with the validators, such as Falcon Heavy, Starship, New Shepard, Apollo, all of these, CDC staff nodes, and they're voting on these proposals, because anyone who runs a validator, and just like anyone, can really vote on these proposals. So, they're using the CRO right here to vote. As CRO, is the voting power. So, if we were fully decentralized and CDC staff didn't have, the majority of staked CRO on their validators, we would have definitely seen this proposal go through, and our APY would be a lot higher on our DeFi wallet staking, and the CRO chain would be faster as well. And one more thing about that's a great reason on why we should decentralize the chain and why it's so important for just the average person who's even staking like 20 CRO or 100 CRO or whatever amount. You should still make sure not to stake with the CDC validator node, because every little bit of CRO helps. And also, as another thing of why you should try and decentralize the chain as much as possible, is because if you're new to crypto, you might not understand why it's so important to stake with community nodes over CDC staff validator nodes. It's just because, when it comes to crypto veterans, people who've been in crypto for a long time and everything like that, and who've done a lot of research and stuff, they're not going to want to stake on, or they're not going to want to buy a cryptocurrency when the chain that cryptocurrency runs on is very centralized, right? They're going to look at, say, oh, well, should I buy CRO? Should I not? They're going to go check the CRO chain, see the top 10 validators, see who has the majority of voting power, and they're going to see, oh, it's mainly CDC staff validators who have the top 10 voting power. Well, that means this chain is not decentralized, and Crypto.com is going to do whatever they can in their best interest, even if it's not in necessarily the community's best interest. As this proposal would have went through if it, as this obviously is in the community's best interest. So, I personally understand why Crypto.com had their validators vote no against the proposal, because, higher APYs and, it's just, they're not really incentivized to vote yes on this necessarily. I understand why, but at the same time, that's just a perfect reason on why we need to decentralize the chain, and why it's so important as well. So if you're new to this or don't really understand why decentralization is so important, well, there's a perfect example for you. And also one last thing is, generally speaking, these CDC staff nodes are gonna have very high commission rates or max change rates or just max rates in general, and that's not good. So the commission rate is what is this, 10%. So the 10% is kind of high when you can get like a 1% or lower fee, and the commission max rate is 100%. So and the max change rate is 85%. So this 85%, if you look at the commission rate right now at 10%, it can change by 85%, meaning it can go straight up to 95% commission rate instantly whenever it wants. It could do it right now, and it'll automatically go through right now if they changed it right now. And then if you're staking with them, well, now you're going to go from a 10% fee all the way to a 95% fee, and you're only going to get 5% of the rewards out of the whole fee. So that's going to be barely anything. And obviously, if you initially staked for them for 10% and all of a sudden it's 85% higher, all the way up to 95% in total, you're not going to like that very much. You're going to be pretty annoyed, especially if you don't notice it for like a couple months. So yeah, I would definitely make sure to stake with non-CDC validators, as generally speaking, you're going to get way more CRO rewards, as the fees are usually lower. And also, they're usually a lot more fair with like the max change rate. The max change rate should never say 100%. Max change should be very low, and same with the max rate should be very low, and the commission rate should be very low. All these three things should be really low. The only thing that should be high is the self-delegation. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think about the CRO chain, and do you think how long do you think it'll take for us to get it decentralized, or do you think it ever will be? And just let me know. And if you need any help on changing validators, just leave any comments down below and I'll try to get to you as soon as I can and see if I can even help you. And so subscribe for more future content like this, and I'll see you guys later in my next video.